Why is it never enough? I want you to compare your life to where you were 5 years ago. You will see that you probably have most of the things that you wanted back then. You probably have the job that you wanted. You probably moved into the apartment that you wanted. You're probably making more money than you were 5 years ago. You're more experienced, you're more confident than you were 5 years ago. So my question is, why don't you feel as good as you thought you would? Why is there still a voice in your head that keeps saying, we got this, now what's next? What if I tell you that the problem is not that you are craving more, but the problem is that you're craving something different? Because there are certain fundamental needs that all human beings have, and the fulfillment of these needs will determine how fulfilled you feel in your life. And if even one of these needs is missing from your life, from the outside, your life is going to look perfect, but on the inside, you're going to feel like something is just missing, something is just off. And I learned this lesson the hard way. There was a point in my life where I really was struggling financially, and I told myself that, okay, if I start making more money, if I'm having this much money coming into my account every month, then I will be safe, I will be free, I can do whatever I want, and all this tension, all this stress, it'll just go away. But the first time I actually came to know about the needs and how to match your needs with your goals, I realized that I was not just craving more money, but I was craving the things that came with the money, especially the comfort and security. And once I realized that, okay, it was not just the money that I was chasing, but it was also the comfort, the lifestyle, the change that I wanted. Once I got that realization, I started consciously making decisions so that I could experience these things in my life, even if there was no money. I took money out of the equation and I started saying, okay, what can I do to make myself feel more comfortable, more change, experience more life? And that is exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. And stay with me till the end of the video, because this is going to be a very fun video. It's not just a spiritual video, we're also going to look at it in a more logical, more scientific way, so that it actually makes more sense to you how this all ties up with manifestation. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nifty, and here we talk all about mindset, manifestation, and personal development. So if you're new here, subscribe to my channel. And now let's get into the video. So the first time I got to know about this needs and wants, it was when I was in my manifestation journey, and it was at a point in my life where I was very much struggling financially, and all I wanted in that time was financial freedom, to be able to make more money and to be able to live a comfortable life. Because I felt like at that time I was very stuck in my life. I felt very stressed about everything in my life, not just the financial. There was just a lot of uncertainty, and I thought that money was the solution to all of my problems. I think this was almost like 1 year ago, and this was also a time when I was very much into manifestation and trying to understand what I can do to speed up the manifestation process. And that's when I came across this thing called matching your needs with your wants. And I realized that some of my core needs were not being met at that time. I realized the two very important needs that I had at that time were growth and comfort. Growth because I wanted to make more money, I wanted to grow, I wanted to feel like I was actually doing something with my life. And comfort because I was coming from a place of having so much stress, so much anxiety, that I just wanted to be comfortable in life. I just wanted to make money and use that money, spend that money to live a comfortable and lavish life. That was it. But once I rewired my needs, everything changed. Like suddenly I had so much clarity in my life. And after I changed my needs, within the next 6 months, I kid you not, in the next 6 months, everything changed the way that I wanted it to. I started making more money. I moved into this penthouse. My life became very comfortable, very luxurious, very quickly. Okay, Nifty, I really like this concept of understanding the 7 needs and prioritizing them, but tell me more about it. I got you, girl. So human beings have 7 energy units or energy chakras, and each of this chakra has its own need. Starting at the bottom, we have the need for comfort. Okay, so this is like the most basic of human needs: food, shelter. If somebody has comfort as their top need, people are probably going to be very stressed and very anxious, because even the smallest of the things will throw them off. And on the other hand, if you're somebody who prioritizes comfort a lot in your life, there is a probability that you will also be lazy and stagnant in your life, because you're just too comfortable with everything that's happening in your life and you don't want no change, you don't want no risk, you just want to stay where you are. Next, we have change. This is all about experiencing new things, about adventure. This is all about excitement and being sexual and fun. If a person has a high need of change, they will probably need constant stimulation, or they're going to get really bored and feel stagnant and stuck in their life. Then you have the need for importance. This is all about you, yourself, your ego. This is all about feeling significant, feeling seen, feeling respected, feeling valued. What you'll see is people who usually chase to get somewhere in life, success, achievements, followers, beauty, whatever it is, these are people who probably have a high sense of importance. But if you're somebody who has a lot of importance, then you're also going to be somebody with a lot of ego, probably a little bit of anger issues because you take everything too seriously, and also you will probably judge other people a lot, just like you judge yourself. On number 4, you have love. This is all about connection. This is all about giving love, receiving love, about friendship, about romance, about family, about human connection. And also this is about connecting with your own self. For somebody who has love as their top need, will probably sacrifice a lot of themselves in order to please the people that they love. Then we have number 5, growth. This is all about learning and improving and getting better. This is about challenging yourself and getting better in all areas of your life. And if you're here watching this video, I can tell you that you probably have a high need for growth, because that is what my channel is all about. And if you're here watching this video trying to improve yourself, do some personal development, then you definitely have growth as your top need, which is actually a great thing. For somebody who has growth on their top need, if you're not constantly growing, you might start feeling like you are dying on the inside. On number 6, we have serving or contribution. Just like how importance is all about you, serving is all about you on the outside. This is all about giving, about contributing, about teaching, about creating, about serving other people. Serving is something that makes you feel like your life has a meaning. For example, me creating this YouTube channel, me doing those coaching for my clients, all of this comes as serving. This is my way of contributing something to the world. And then on top, you have nothing. This is actually a very surprising one. This is actually just stillness and just being and staying present. There's no productivity, no stimulation, no nothing. You're just existing. This is kind of like when you're on a vacation and you don't have any plans. All you want to do is just stay present and enjoy. This could also be meditation. So now that you know what these 7 needs are, you need to understand that your goals will tell you where it is that you want to go in life, but your needs will determine what kind of a life you need to build in order to get to your goals. So 1 year ago, first time I got to know about this needs exercise, I did it. I put growth as number 1 and comfort as number 2. Then 6 months down the line, I manifested the things that I wanted to manifest, and I had new goals. And one of the top goals I had during this time was to be making $10,000 every month consistently. And even though I was doing all my work, my manifestation, my affirmations, somehow I was just not able to do it. I was not able to manifest that $10,000 months. And then one day I was like, you know what? I need to do that exercise once again, my needs exercise. And I did it. And what I realized was 6 months ago, when I had other goals of living a comfortable life, I put comfort on the top, right? And because I had comfort on top, there were things that I needed to do in order to hit that 10K months, but I was not willing to do those things because that meant that I would have to sacrifice on my comfort. I didn't want to sacrifice watching Netflix every night because that was part of my comfort. I didn't want to start anything that felt uncertain. I didn't want to take any risk, and I was not willing to do anything that took me out of my comfort zone. That was like a wake-up call for me, where I was like, okay, I need to sacrifice one of these things. Either I can sacrifice my 10K goal, or I need to sacrifice putting comfort as my top need. Once I realized that my old priorities of needs was actually keeping me stuck and not really pushing me towards the new goals that I had, and then I had to consciously rearrange my needs to match my new goals to the needs. And this is something you should remember too, that the same things, the same manifestation, the routines that probably got you from point A to point B will probably not be the same steps that you will have to take to move from point B to point C. And just because you're doing something right now and you're not seeing the results does not mean that you're failing. You probably just need to reprioritize what it is that you want so that you can manifest manifest things faster. Okay, so now you're going to do the needs and goals exercise for yourself because nobody knows you better than yourself. So unless you're on a coaching call with me, spending 90 minutes with me, then I can help you figure out your needs. If not, you're going to have to pause this video right now, take out a pen and paper, and let's do this. First thing you're going to do is you're going to write down your top 3 goals right now. So for the sake of example, I'm going to talk about the time when I did this exercise for the first time. At that time, my top 3 goals were making more money, being more comfortable, living a more luxurious life, and number 3, manifesting a relationship. So on the other side, you're going to write down what your current needs are based on your life choices and life conditions. End of the day, you need to realize that we are all human beings and we all have these 7 needs, and what makes us different is the order of these needs. It's just like a phone number, like it's the same 10 digits that we have in the phone number. Depending on the order of the numbers, it's a completely different frequency. First time I did this exercise, my order: change, importance, love, growth, comfort, serving, and nothing. This was my list. I remember during that time I was doing a lot of things. Like I had my leg in so many different things. I was working different part-time jobs. I had other gigs going on. I was coaching people online. There was so many things I was doing, and the reason I was doing all these things was because I had change on top. So because I didn't have a clarity of where I wanted to go, I was just putting my leg into everything. And importance was my second need. So I would literally show up in places wherever I felt important. Even when I was picking romantic partners, I would choose people who would make me feel important. But then when I wrote down my goals and my needs side by side, I could ask myself, okay, which of my needs will actually support my goals? Which of my needs are competing with my goals? Which of these am I willing to sacrifice? Am I willing to sacrifice change right now, or am I willing to sacrifice my goal of making more money? And then you need to make a new list. You need to decide which of these needs goes higher, which of these needs goes lower. So when I did this exercise for the first time, this was my old list, and I thought, okay, I need to create a new list, and I created a new list. In my new needs, I had growth on top, followed by comfort, importance, love, serving, change, and nothing. And once I made this my new needs, things started changing so fast because all the decisions I was now making came from a place of, okay, is this in alignment with my new needs? For example, I remember this one time I was invited to a party after work, and if at that time I had not done my needs exercise, I would have said yes, because number 1, it's change, I'm going out, I'm doing something different, so of course yes. And number 2, I was being invited to a party, and this was like an exclusive party, so that made me feel important, that made me feel like I could go out and have fun. So of course I would have done it. But because I had done my needs exercise, I knew that for me, growth and comfort were on top. So when I was asked if I wanted to attend that party, I was like, okay, I could go to the party, but would that really help me get towards my goal? Will that help me with my growth? No. Will going to this party make my life more comfortable? Absolutely not. And once I saw the clarity, it was very easy for me to say no, because it was very clear that going to the party did not serve my needs, it did not serve my goals, it did not serve anything. But if I had not had that clarity and I had not done the needs exercise, I would have said yes, because I was like, oh wow, change, importance, perfect, definitely something I would love to do. And was one of these things right and one of these things wrong? No. It's all about you getting clear on what you want to manifest and moving in that direction, because most of the time it's not about what you're doing, it's about what you're saying no to. It's about what are the things that you're deleting from your life, you're removing from your life, so that you can make more space for the things that are actually aligned. So here is your assignment for today. Take some time, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and write this down. Write down your goals, write down your current needs, and see what you need to change in order to create a new set of needs that will help you manifest your dreams faster. And this is exactly the kind of work that I do with my clients on the coaching calls. It's all about understanding your needs, understanding your goals, understanding what your limiting beliefs are. It's all about rewiring your priorities and creating alignment in your life so that you can manifest the things you want with more clarity, and it comes into your life faster and easier. And it's all about building a life that actually helps and supports your manifestation, rather than feeling like you're struggling, hustling and grinding so hard to bring your manifestations to life, because that is not what we want, right? We want want things to flow into our life, and we want to live an aligned life where it feels like we're doing the right thing, we're moving in flow, we feel full, we feel complete as we move towards our goals. And as you're listening to this, if you're thinking, oh wow, this sounds nice, like I want to have a life coach, I want to get everything in alignment, then you can book a coaching call with me. First call, clarity call, is absolutely free, so take use of it while this offer lasts. The link is in the description. And something I want to tell you guys is you're never going to meet all of your needs perfectly, but it's about becoming conscious about what your needs are. And always remember that your goals don't need to fight against your needs, okay? They can both work together in alignment to speed up the process. And in life, we're always growing and evolving. Your goals are going to change, your needs are going to change, you're going to realign them from time to time, and that is okay. Nothing in life is permanent, nothing in life is fixed in stone. You are allowed to redesign your life, because manifestation is not just about asking and praying and waiting for a different life. Manifestation is about becoming aware and moving consciously towards the life that you want. And that is everything I have today for you guys in my video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will be coming out with a new video next week, and I love you. I appreciate you so much. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.